This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. Von Kelly, are you with me?
I am here. How are you doing, Jill?
Great, thank you. Excited to have the Director of Soothing Arts, Healing Therapies, School of Massage joining us. Tell us a little bit about your company, where you're located, and what you do.
Yes, we offer career training here. We're located in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, which is on the northern Gulf Coast of Florida. We're like in between the towns of Destin and Panama City Beach. We're in an area of Florida called the Emerald Coast, have the beautiful white sand beaches and the emerald green waters here. And we offer career training for our booming spa industries around here. We offer training for massage therapy and for aesthetics or skincare and also nails. Pretty much everything that you would find in a spa resort to accommodate the clients.
And you've been in business for how long?
A long time. We started this in 1999. Started my first class in early 2000.
Great. Well, what did you have in mind for your show today? Where did you want to start?
Well, I know you were asking me last time about some of the benefits of massage, and there's some stuff I alluded to, but I have done a little more research, and there's volumes on this, so I can also explain to people why. Because maybe half the population has never tried a massage, I can try to help explain to them some of the benefits of massage if maybe they have some aches or pains or just
Yeah,
stress from everyday life.
yeah, absolutely.
So you may start talking on that, or did you
Sure,
have any
sure. Yeah.
questions?
No, go
Okay,
ahead,
that's
please.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, massage has been around for like at least 5,000 years that we know of,
Wow.
and it is seen as a great tool in improving the quality of life for it helps the therapist also along with the client receiving the work. So what you want to do when you have a client come in, you want to be able to see the whole picture of what the client's presenting, not just their injuries or their chronic condition, but also what they do for their lifestyle, their nutrition. All these things are all parts of the whole picture for the client because none of this is isolated in and of itself. So basically, the purpose of massage is going to be not being too technical with it, but you're going to physically
Yeah.
increase cell metabolism, which is going to increase hasten or speed up healing of the client. And then that can also help increase joint mobility, give you better range of motion, give you a little better quality of life from each time you get massage. Also, just some people want to feel better because they have aches and pains, and it definitely can help with pain issues too. So there's a lot of effects on the body. You have mechanical effects, which is the direct pressure that you would put on a massage technique, putting it on the body. Like, say, if somebody's got a muscle cramp, you could actually compress that muscle and hold it steady for maybe a count of 10 and help relieve that. A lot of times we tell that to do that for the students that are working at sporting events and stuff like that, because just suddenly a cramp will come on. You also want to be able to compress the tissues and assist the circulation and lymphatic flow. So you're helping the heart by moving blood around. You're also helping remove metabolic waste by getting that lymphatic flow improved, and then that's dumped out through the bloodstream and through the kidneys and flushed out. So that's why also after a massage, you want to stay hydrated. Most of the clients are very hydrated normally, but if somebody's a little bit dry, you want to also tell them we're moving a lot of lymph fluid around on this session. Go home, drink some water, stay hydrated, because it's going to take hours after all of this for your body to cleanse all this stuff out. Because you never know what the client's presenting with is if it's a new client. You don't know what their lifestyle is and everything. So you then, like, say if somebody's got adhesions or scar tissue, um, you can go like cross fiber against the fibers of the muscle, like perpendicular, and do petrissage or what's called friction strokes and break that up. And that helps reduce the scarring or reduces the adhesion, which then leads to the person feeling so much better. And then you can also get, while you got them on the table, you can do assisted stretching that you can lengthen, shorten muscles because their muscles might be drawn up also through lack of hydration or stuff, or because of physical injuries. You can gently stretch those muscles out, and that would also increase the joint's range of motion, give them more flexibility. So there's a lot of that that can help. Any questions on that so far, Jill? there's a
As
lot that's going on.
well, I know, but I just first of all the fact that 5,000. How many years old is massage?
We
Uh,
know it's at least goes back at least 5,000 years, and it seems to probably have
wow.
developed from the core of martial arts, yoga, and massage therapy all seem to come from the same common root or whatever, because there's different stances in the martial arts and things that are also very similar to some of the stances we do in massage therapy and some of the stances in yoga, because some people even currently have reintegrated yoga and Swedish massage together because they fit back together.
Mm-hmm.
Again, probably because they came from a common shared source.
Wow. Well, I mean, I love massage. I think we all do. And I went the other day. I had to tell you though, I haven't had a massage in a while. I went to the
Yeah.
nail salon. I got a massage there, and
Yeah.
that was great, right? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! Now again, it may not be the real massage you're talking about, but I did. I did one of the chair tables. At least that's something for now. And the next
It
day,
helps.
yeah. Now, is it normal to feel pain or soreness in a sense?
Well, if the session has been too intense and you're too fragile or still
Mm-hmm.
recovering from an injury, yeah, it can lead to more pain because you're getting blood into these areas. But now you also have to realize that some people just have chronic stress, like say in the neck and shoulder areas. People that work at laptops, things like that, cosmetologists are up there on their feet all the day doing hairdos and things like that. Um, Also, unfortunately, you can also a lot of times see where women have a similar kind of stress pattern in the neck and upper shoulders, whereas men oftentimes will present with a stress pattern that's more of low back, hips, and thighs. And then, of course, in the course of this business, you'll find some poor souls that have both recurring stress patterns. So they got both the what I would call the female stress pattern and the male one. So in other words, they just need massages doubled up, pretty much. I would say. So they're very much needing the help because you don't know where people hide the stress. The body doesn't ever get rid of anything, and with the stress we're dealing with, it'll put it in different places, and then you've got to have some help to get it out of there.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, I'm just relieved that I had a little taste, but for the most part, people should be getting this. You said like at least once a week, right? I mean, it's what it
Well,
does for
it
the
depends on what
body.
Well, it depends on what somebody can afford. I mean, if they can only do it
Mm-hmm.
once a month, that's still better than nothing. If they can do it a weekly, that's nice. A lot of people can't afford a weekly, but maybe they do one every other week or once a month. But I mean, it's not just a treat. It's something that helps you with your quality of life. Um, we have a large military base near here called Eglin Air Force Base, and also has the village there. And Bob Hope for years would come down because he was always a big fan of the military and the Bob Hope Village. And so he at one point I had an interview I remember hearing years back. He said he had a personal massage therapist that traveled with him everywhere, and so every day he got a massage. And Bob Hope, I don't know if you look it up, but he lived to be over 100. And he had one time that he actually said that he thought that getting the massages every day was what really helped him to live for such a ripe old age. A lot of us don't have Bob Hope's kind of money, but still, you can still get a massage every week, every month, every 2 weeks, just whatever your schedule and your budget permits. Or you can go to a school, and a lot of times they have them. If you don't mind a student trying to practice on you, there are reduced prices at the schools. So there's also an option for doing that.
Good to know. And there's so many
Yes,
different massage, techniques, right? Let me ask. I mean, when you go in,
yes,
someone says deep tissue, it says Swedish. How many different forms of massage really are there?
dozens, truly dozens. And a lot of people think that they need a deep tissue, but there's nothing wrong with a good Swedish massage um, because it does increase the blood flow and the lymph movement and everything else. And then sometimes you might just have some adhesions that need to be worked on. Because sometimes if somebody's ordering up a deep tissue massage, they might end up being too sore afterwards because their muscles are just not ready for it. But if it's your first one, I would say just recommend a good relaxation one to where somebody knows what they're doing and they're going to address certain little adhesions and not just beat you up in the course of the hour that you're on the table or the 90-minute session that you're on the table. What you also got to remember about massage, the quality of the touch is what's so important. It's not just the technique that they're using. The quality of the touch, you need your therapist be in the moment with the person that's on the table, and they've done a good assessment of what's going on with the person, and then that leads to a better outcome with the session because they might do a specialized technique, but they're not really connected with the person at all that's on the table, and the person goes, "Oh, well, that kind of massage wasn't good for me." Well, maybe you just got a bad event that day. Maybe that was the wrong person for you that day. They need to observe everything that you're doing while you're laying on the table. They want to make sure that you're calm, breathing well, not grabbing the table because they're working too strong or something. They need to be in touch with you and say, "How's the pressure? How are you feeling?" And not just to chat you up the whole hour, but to just get feedback from you throughout the session. Make sure that what you're receiving is what you're wanting in that moment.
Got it. Now, at your school, I mean, the amount of different courses you offer, could you walk us through? These are in person, obviously hands-on, but I know you do some virtual
Yes.
stuff as well. Walk us through, some of the training that you go through and what the process is, how long it takes.
Yes, it's basically like a little over 500 hours, and it's set up to be over
Okay.
like a 5 month period. They're full time, they're doing 5 days a week or 5 nights a week. So there's different courses going on different days or different nights a week. So part of the state requirements are the sciences like anatomy, physiology, pathology, kinesiology, which is talking about your skeleton and where the muscles attach. We're not going to learn all the 635 or 640 muscles in the body, but there's about 100 or 110 that we do work on. That's what we do in our career. And so we were going to talk about the skeleton and where these different muscle groups attach and which way the muscle fibers run so that they know what's going on under the client's skin when they go to the bodywork part. The other class would be anatomy and physiology and pathology. Be talking about
Mm-hmm.
the systems of the body, where there's the circulatory system, the integumentary system, the skin, the osseous tissue, um, digestive system, uh, cardiovascular system, lungs, all those different systems. And then the other days would be, or nights would be, basically hands on techniques, learning the basics of Swedish, getting good, comfortable level of hours under your belt before we even start grading you. Probably somebody needs maybe at least 80 to 120 hours before we start assessing how they're doing and then start fine tuning their work from that and then moving them on to clinics where they then, because at a certain point they're so tired of working on their classmates and their friends and family that we need other people to come in and they're happy to do it for a small fee. And that also builds up their client relationships and everything in that client clinic set up for the students. And that's all supervised also here in the school.
Love
And
it.
that kind of takes you, and then 5 months is gone before the blink of an eye.
And how
It moves fast.
rewarding. I'm sure, I mean,
Yes,
you've had clients, I'm sure you could tell me where they are. They're probably working everywhere around the world, even like on cruise ships, right?
yes,
The
they do. They
potential
do.
is
They're all over.
limitless.
I've had some of them go to a lot of the high end resorts up in the Northwest and things like that. Some of them have
Great.
gone on cruise ships. Some of them have opened their own spots. Some of them just want a good, steady job and they just go to one of the different spas resorts locally, or they open one up and then hire some of their classmates and they set up a practice that way. So it's almost unlimited the number of opportunities of what somebody can move into with this massage career.
And
Things like chiropractic and things like that.
now, could I also ask for those listeners out there, it's not just massage therapy. What other specialties do you train in?
We do what's called facial specialists here in the state of Florida, which would legally permit you charge money to do facials or peels. You can also do eyebrow tinting and shaping. You can do some body treatments under that, like aloe
Mm-hmm.
wraps and things like that. You can't massage the body, but you can massage the face and the décolleté area under that license. And a lot of times, a lot of those spa resorts want to hire people
Yep.
with the massage license and the aesthetic license because those fit together well, and then that way you can take care of almost any client that walks in the door needing a service. Or you can sell multiple services to one client. They can get a facial, they get a massage, all sorts of things while you got them on the table. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's good for making money too.
Well, what else do you want to share about your practice, about your schools, and what makes it one of the top schools out there?
Well, I think it's because you can always catch the owner here most of the time. I'm not here all day, but I am here every
Yeah.
day. And you can call, and then also the office staff. And of course, every teacher here is teaching what they are most passionate about. It's not just a small school kind of approach where one person
Mm-hmm.
is up there showing their whole lifestyle and their whole preference of how to do a massage. This way, you got multiple instructors showing you their ways of teaching, so you have different shared life experience to draw on in your career. And I truly think that a soothing arts grad has a very wide ranging palette of skills that have been put out there for them. Because we're not like doctors coming out of med school where they come out like after 10 years, like they're a specialist in this or that. We go to school for a short period of time, and then once they're out, they will then figure out what they want to specialize in. And as they take continuing education classes for license renewal, they can then go and specialize into lymphatic work. They can specialize into sports massage or neuromuscular therapy or reflexology or so many of these other fields that are out there. It's just limited by only your imagination, I feel.
Love hearing that. And what got
Yeah.
you into this? How did you end up opening up a training school like this, for those out there curious?
Well, I was injured years back and had shoulder problems after a car wreck and could not get the physical therapist to do the work that I need up under my scapula. So I kept figuring there must be something else out there that's good for me to try. And I kept looking for years and finally started thinking, well, massage therapy had been around for a long time. It's not very prevalent in the 80s around the southeastern part of the country, really. But I mean, there were some schools and stuff back then. But then as the 90s unfolded, I finally actually saw a demo of a massage, and the gentleman winged up the scapula and was able to friction up under that scapula. And I thought if I had that done a few years ago, I could have saved months, if not years, of physical therapy treatments. So then, after a few months, I started thinking about maybe practicing some, and then I moved on into getting an actual license for it. And then I thought, well, been in a lot of schools in my life, and I thought I can do a better school. So there, by the end of the 90s, I was filling out the paperwork and sent it into the state of Florida to open Soothing Arts, Healing Therapy School of Massage. And that's kind of what the genesis was. It wasn't an overnight thing. It took a long time, but I think we were very happy with the results. I think my students are very pleased with the training, and I think we offer them a good bang for the buck for the amount of and quality of training they get for the little time that they're here. I
Oh,
think
that,
they all get a better quality of education than I got at the school I attended when I went to school.
wow.
And that's one of the things I always want to do.
What is the hardest part about being a business owner?
Everything.
Really?
Well, it keeps you on your toes. You just never know. The customer's always right, and you got to be prepared for, just scheduling and stuff and just trying to get your therapist in on the right time with the traffic and stuff. Because naturally, it's like when fish are biting, when the tourists are here, the roads are jammed with cars. And some of the people might be lined up for a 12 o'clock appointment. They might be stuck in traffic. They might come in 20 minutes late. Then your 1 o'clock people come in early, and you're just doing an incredible juggling act of all these different clients and stuff. So you just have to have the front desk ready to keep them happy and relaxed. And most people are understanding. They do understand, and they're here because they want the benefits of massage, because they know that the quality of touch is just so important.
Yeah.
And that's just part of it. Just deal with the summer hassles here. Um, but then some of it is so great because the clients are just smiling as they're leaving and hand you money and rebooking you and all this. It's just it makes you feel good. And also, when you give a client a massage, people don't realize it's kind of a two-way street. You actually feel better also after that session because you're in connection with them. And I don't know if it's the energy or the electrical energy or what that people all have. It does make people feel better if you're doing a massage work. So it's a very rewarding career.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you love most about having your own business now?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's just, I'm not a real control person on this. I have each of my teachers teaching what they're most passionate about because I figure each of those people are covering stuff a little better than I could do. So I want the very best for my students. And so I just like seeing the business grow and keep people happy and go from year to year. That's what I'm happy with, just his success.
Great. And is there anything else you want to make sure we share for today's show about your
We, we,
classes?
we have
Why?
we have classes coming up. We have skincare classes starting this month. We have other skincare classes starting up in July, nail classes in July, a daytime massage class in August. So if somebody wants to maybe move to Florida for a few months when the rates are cheaper during the off months, they get them a new career and then take it back home. Or they could stay down here permanently because there's plenty of jobs waiting to be filled with massage therapists in this area. There's never enough women going around to do these massages during this time of the year.
And let me just ask, okay, in Florida State, I'm in New York. What is the going rate for a tip when you do get a massage? What is that considered normally? I mean, again, normally not everyone tips, but in this
That's true.
service, it's kind of expected. How do we say that, right?
Well, it depends upon what you're there for. It's the same as like if you go in for having your hair done or your nails done or something like that. If you're going in for beautifying or something like that or splurging, yeah, it's reasonable to do a 20% tip. But if you're doing, like, say, if you're going to a massage therapist because you have aches or pains because of a health issue, that's a different kind of thing. Like, you don't tip your dentist, you don't tip your doctor. So it depends upon what your motivation is of why you're in there for. Again, some people will tip, but generally in those situations, they're not really expecting one because they're doing a health providing for you. So, if it's more for just relaxing or if you're on vacation, yeah, throw them a tip. Same if you're seeing a facial specialist or a nail tech, throw them a tip. And then your massage, it can be whichever way you want to do, but 20% is fair. Like if you're paying 100, another 20 is not bad. They appreciate it.
All right. Well, we appreciate your time here with us today. And if someone does
Thank
want to
you.
reach out to sign up, how do we do so?
They can reach us through Soothing Arts. That's SOOTHINGARTS, Soothing Arts at gmail.com. And there's a lot of information on our website if they go to soothingarts.com. And again, they can email us at soothingarts at gmail.com. And they can ask us any questions. We'll be happy to get an answer to them ASAP.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Looking
Yes,
forward to it. I hope you have a
for sure,
fantastic
Jill.
day. And my goodness,
Thank you.
hopefully we'll be back in touch again next week. We won't have any complications, and we'll get here, and everything should be perfect, right? Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
I
We can
hope
hope.
so.
Thank
You
you.
have a fantastic day. To all of our listeners and viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back. And I wish I was in Florida with you because it's raining in New York. Not a good day. Bye bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.